actually meant music. Peter, tell us about your soundtrack work.
Well, yes, as I said, my first skill is in film, which is what I'm doing at the moment. But I'm a musician as well. I've composed music now for about 8 years, on and off. And one of my friends put my name forward to a director who needed someone to do music for his film, and it was the first time I'd done it, and it went down really well. Took about 3 months for me to compose all the music and put it all together to the film. Yeah, as I say, it went down really well, and he hired me for a few other future projects, and he passed my name on to someone else he knew, and it just went on and on. And I've worked for a few people nationally and internationally now, doing various films, good and bad productions. You know, a lot of zombie films out there. It seems to be what everyone wants to do these days.
What was the actual
You know.
film that you did the soundtrack for? What would you have seen? Was it for the scenery shots or
It was
incidental? Or
mostly it was incidental sort of background stuff,
Yeah.
so it supports the visuals more than sort of prominent stuff. But the latest film I've done music for, which is a film called Future's End by a guy called Steve Shaw. He's a local producer. It was a drama, very much. I mean, it's about sort of time travel and this kind of stuff, but it's not. It's sort of implied in sort of the script. It doesn't show the future; it just talks about it. It sort of lets the imagination fill in the rest of it, and that was interesting because I had to come up with a score that sort of supported the emotional weight of what was being said. It was a lot of fun. It was just one scene. It was just shot on the bank of the River Cam, and it was just a guy and a girl talking. And sounds boring, but the script was really good and the actors were great. So it was a lot of fun to watch and to write music for.
so where would a film of that nature be shown?
It's going to end up on YouTube, like many things, and I think perhaps one of the other video websites as well. It's obviously it's an independent production, non-profit, so it's unlikely that it's going to end up in any cinemas. It might end up in one of the festivals, but at the moment it was just a chance for a lot of talented people to get together and work together on a project. So.
Right. And if you're writing a soundtrack of that nature, do they send you the whole film and say you write the music? Is that what they do?
Yeah, pretty much. They sent me a rough cut in the early days, and I just had to. I got a feel for what it was about then, and I could, score the film music from that. But because the music has to time in with various moments in the film, like a key word or a key sound that is in there, I had to go back and re-edit the score every time they sent me a new edit of the film. So I ended up with about 300 different cuts of music for this film because I had to keep going back in and changing things whenever they changed something in the film. So they reshot something, so I had to reshoot, re-record everything again. So
Right. So
it's,
you've got a job that is shift work. So you spend a certain amount of time working.
Yep.
And then when you're not, you give yourself hours and hours to spend at a keyboard doing this by the sound of it.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
It sounds like it takes ages. It's just got that.
Yeah.
And it does.
It does, it really does. But luckily on this one, I hit the nail on the head straight away with the recording, and I had a good idea from day one, which doesn't always happen. Sometimes it takes me loads of failed attempts to try and find something that works with visuals. But no, it's this time I managed to hit the ground running, and I came up with a good idea, and as I say, it has to do loads of tweaks along with the tweaks that they made on the video, but most of the time it was pretty straightforward.
Great. You've got some good stuff going on for you here, and I have to wish you all the best for it.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
tell you something that would be interesting, although we probably wouldn't be able to play too much of it, and that would be to play a little chunk of your music.
Well, it's going to happen one of these days, I swear. I'm going to try and get there somehow without overtaking the station.
You're not going to... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you'll do everything soon. But you're not the 3-minute songsmith by any means. This is.
No, I do a couple of songs.
How did you learn
though,
your
for them,
music?
so.
Was you at school?
Yeah, I played piano at school,
Right.
had lessons, but I only got up to grade 3, and then I gave up because I didn't like taking the tests, the exams.
Right.
For it. I just found that stuff really boring, all the theory and stuff, all
Yeah.
the
When
handwritten
you-
stuff I just wanted to
When
play.
you try to get work, are you is it? I presume in your case, then it's going to be more dependent on what you've already done and the quality you can deliver, rather
Exactly,
than
yeah.
filling in a form that says you passed a lot of exams.
Yeah.
You've got to get round that if you haven't done them. I suppose.
I mean, a lot of these successful artists never really had that much schooling in music. Most
No.
people are self-taught
Lennon
or inspired.
McCartney
You
didn't
know.
read music.
Exactly.
McCartney didn't
Yep.
till very. In fact, he stopped when he did start.
That's a very good example.
What an
Yeah.
example. Huh?
And ended up being one of the biggest names in music. So there you are.
Absolutely. You've got a. I don't know how to put it really. The Carpenters, one of your favourites.
I love the Carpenters.
Good.
A bit old maybe, but I love them. You know,
Okay,
Karen
this is-
Carpenter's got a great voice.
This is one of their tracks that wasn't one of the big hit singles, but was a lovely version of a song called This Masquerade.